back to Brashedomics. I'm Ben Brashid, and educating yourself, as Dave Duncan was talking about, on all the things that are possible when buying a house is certainly important. And a lot of people, a lot of our listeners, a lot of people out there already own a house and might be thinking, well, what are some things I can do with my house? How are some ways I can improve it? Charlie Carter joins us, who grew up working in construction, became a senior project development manager with Air Room Inc., Chicago's premier remodeling contractor, before coming here and starting Homebridge Builders. Welcome, Charlie. How are you?
I am well. Thank you very much. Good to be here.
It's good to see you. And, a way, David talked about educating yourself by, whether it's setting up searches online, knowing a little bit about the real estate market, really eyes on seeing what is going on and what's selling, what's coming on the market. And there's kind of a way that you can go in and do this when it comes to construction and remodeling, and that is the home show that is coming up.
Absolutely. It's a great central location for people to go and look at lots of different components of things that they're thinking about doing. If you're looking to remodel, looking to add on, looking to do a bathroom or winterize or improve improve your home in some way, there's just one place they can go take some time, 4 or 5 hours walking around CenturyLink Event Center and learn quite a bit from the people that are there, the companies.
And it's a lot of what's an effective way to go to the home show? I mean, because you're on that, you're on the side obviously as a contractor, they're a vendor. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I guess you can kind of peruse and maybe people are like, well, what's a quote on this? And I imagine you're like, well, I can't see it right now. But what's an effective way for somebody who might be considering a remodel to walk through a home show? What questions should they be asking somebody like you?
Well, it varies depending on what it is you're looking to do. If you want to get a new roof, then you're going to go and target the different roofing companies or the roofing manufacturers because you have both there, the guys that make the shingles, and then you have guys that install the shingles and put them on and do the work. So you kind of target what it is that you're looking to do. If you want to do a bathroom, you might look for cabinets, and you might look for countertop material or tiles and things like that to see a lot in one place, as opposed to having to drive all over the city to see those things. So think about the large component pieces of what it is that you're thinking about doing. We want to replace windows. Okay, well, go look at windows. And then questions you would ask, do you guys do the installation? Or no, we just sell the windows and you're on your own from there. So then you need to find someone that does window replacement. So it's thinking about the pieces, not all of the tiny little pieces, but the major component pieces.
like you're not shopping for screws by which to install the windows.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very effective. But what are the big pieces of what it is that you're focusing on? And if it starts to get into a situation where you're thinking about what it is that you want to do, and it's going to take more than 3 or 4, or certainly you get into 5, 6 different specialty trades to be involved. If it's just window replacement, that's kind of one thing. But if it's, I need a tile guy, I need a carpenter, I need a painter, I need an electrician, I need a plumber, then you need somebody to manage that process for you. It's the hardy homeowner, the adventurous soul that wants to take on that part of it by themselves.
Then they put the drywall up before the plumbing or the electricity,
the
right?
Inspectors tend to not like that and whatnot. So think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish in just some good conversations with, if it's a bigger project, with some people at the more general contractor, bigger remodeling type, at the booths, and just have some conversations with people there. A lot of people are pretty good at getting a feel for someone. So in 15 minutes of a conversation talking about the idea of adding on to your house for your family room or whatever, you get a pretty good sense of kind of how you're going to relate to a person and whatnot. And then at that point, maybe take the next step and have someone come out.
How much information should maybe somebody who's visiting the home show bring? Are you talking about bringing all your measurements? Are you talking about bringing photos? Is that really effective, or is it more of just a meet and greet, and then you're setting appointments for future times?
It's more that. Again, if you were like, I certainly see people that, we're looking to get countertops. Okay, you can bring a couple of photos, you can bring some dimensions of a countertop, your kitchen layout or whatever it is, and probably get somewhere. But beyond much more than that, something as simple as that, it's going to be very difficult. There are people that will walk around with a roll of drawings and say, I have my plans, so we'll look at them for a minute, but we can't do.
You're not putting together a 4-hour bid,
right?
Or whatnot.
Yeah, I can't do a takeoff there and go through the whole thing. So, and it is a little bit funny where you do these home shows long enough, you'll see the same guy walking around with that same set of drawings, home show after home show after home show.
And hasn't done anything yet.
But that's the guy in the yellow jacket. Still got that same plan.
I used to teach a lot of seminars. You kind of get the same thing. It's the people who somehow they're on that list, and they just keep coming in. And I don't know if it's for the bagels in the morning or whatever we were doing, but it's kind of that same thing. I think it's a cure for loneliness sometimes going and doing that.
Yeah, it is interesting. And then, what you see and what you're looking for and kind of be precise and have a little bit of a strategy and look at the things and don't miss some of the stuff. It's a big place. You miss a couple aisles, you really might miss the one thing that you were looking for.
They might miss Charlie Carter from Homebridge Builders. We are here with Charlie Carter with Homebridge Builders, custom building and remodeling, discussing the home show, some really effective ways to go into that. As a vendor, what do you expect out of a home show? I mean, when you go there, what are you looking for?
Well, we're trying to do a couple of things. Number one is we want people to see us and be aware of us. We'd like to get some brochures and literature out. So people are aware. Not everyone's ready right now to do something, and our message is that look, we've been here through the bad times, and we're gonna still be here. So when you're ready, we're ready. Give us a call, kind of thing. But then people who are a little bit closer to maybe doing something is to make some contact with those people, and then possibly get an opportunity to go out to their home and talk to them about it in a little bit more depth. And like we've talked about on many of the shows, is start that process of doing some homework and creating something so that we can get a sense of what it can look like and how much it's going to cost. But it takes a lot of work for a bigger project to get to that point. You just can't do it in one shot.
So it sounds to me that people who are going there really need to not have high expectations of starting to get bids on anything more than maybe a very, hey, we have 22 windows and they're all exactly this size maybe, or here's the dimensions of our countertops. But going after these bigger projects, scope some things out, get some ideas,
exactly,
and maybe make some connections, but not really.
Yeah, you're not going to get. If it's a 10-step process and you're thinking about doing a big project, you're not going to get 3 steps into it. You're going to get 1 step.
1 step.
Just
get
a good start.
Some phone numbers.
Yeah, 1 step, some phone numbers, and more than just a phone number, that you'll have had a chance to talk to someone face to face, as opposed to a web search and then just a phone conversation, that you might have a little bit of a sense of a feel for that person before you invite them into your home. And you're like, okay, this guy's all right. At least he's worth spending another hour and a half with and seeing what he's got to say more in depth.
Yeah, and I think that's just an interesting piece, because you're kind of educating your people who go there should expect to kind of educate themselves on the process, which is kind of that step one. Okay,
exactly.
And maybe if they're asking you a question, it's okay. Well, I'm thinking about a kitchen remodel. What are some things I should be thinking about, right? Rather than, hey, bid me a kitchen remodel.
Right. What are the dangers? What are the pitfalls? What are the things that I'm not aware of? And just talking about, all the decisions that have to be made, the impact on your daily life to live through a project like that. That's something that we always want to be really clear about. Look, this is your kitchen. We're tearing it up, and we're pretty fast at doing kitchens, but you're still going to be quasi out of commission in the kitchen for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you'll be 100% shut down for several weeks. So you need to be ready to
fire up
deal
that
with
barbecue,
that.
huh?
Right. Well, we set you up, we move the refrigerator, and do some of those things, but we can't give you a second kitchen and then do this one and then
an interim
disassemble
kitchen.
that. Yeah, it's a scary thing. So people need to be aware of it and start thinking about those little things and the decisions that you have to make. Like you talked about the knobs on the cabinets. At some point, that decision's got to be made. Not today, but at some point you have to pick. Otherwise, it's duct tape.
Which can work also. Charlie, thanks so much for joining us. Again, Charlie Carter with Homebridge Builders, and they will be at the home show at CenturyLink
Seattle
Field.
Home Show 2 or SeattleHomeShow.com. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Perfect. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Go see Charlie. Tell him you heard him here. We'll be right back after this break. I'm Ben Brashen. You're listening to Brashenomics.